Let's now welcome Nathen as he sings Yes, You Can to prepare us for his message, Small Steps, Big Life, Saying Yes to Faith. After his talk, Nathen will sing us back into the third dimension. Take it away, Nathen.
Thank you so much, Pixie. Oh boy. Don't you just love it when things work exactly as they're supposed to? Sorry for this, folks. Oh my heavens. There we go. All right. Here we go. Yes, you can. If this is something that you know, please sing along. And if you don't, I think you'll get it pretty quick. Whoa! Whoops. A little nervous. Whoa! Whoa! Listen, gather round. I found something that you can use. And if you listen well, I'm here to tell you you cannot lose. A simple song, a simple melody to remind you that you can be the greatest ever, defeated never. Even though sometimes you may lose, oh my, yes you can. You can do anything if you try. Just try. Yes you can. But you have to believe and rely on what you have inside. You can make it through your trials. Though your trials will just make you strong. You can do anything. Yes, you can. Whoa. Teach your children well. Give time to tell them just who they are. Train them as they go. Let them know that they can go far. Oh, my sister, why do you wait? Tomorrow might be just too late. For God gave the provision, made the decision. You can do all things through your faith. Oh my, yes you can. You can do anything if you try. Just try. Yes you can. Now I have to believe and rely on what you have inside. You can make it through your trials. For your trials will just make you strong. You can do anything. Yes, you can. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, I can. I can do anything if I try. I just try. Yes, I can. But I have to believe and rely on what I have inside. I can make it through my trials. For my trials will just make me strong. I can do anything. Yes, I can. Whoa. I can. achieve it. I can, yes, I can do anything. No matter what, if you can just conceive it. If you believe it, then you can achieve it. I can, yes, I can do anything. I needed to take a deep breath there. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my talk this morning. I'm very excited about this. Small steps, big life, saying yes to faith. In my talk this morning, I want to talk about three things. I want to give you a definition of faith. I'd like to share two personal stories about living that definition of faith. Two stories which are very near and dear to my heart, as you'll see. And the third, the most powerful tool that we have to live that definition of faith. So let's start by having a look at that definition. Faith, I found this in the Oxford Dictionary. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. After I found that definition of faith, I started thinking, well, have there been moments in my life where I have felt that complete trust or confidence in someone or something? And I'm happy to report that I'm sure there were more, but there are two very powerful ones that I'd like to share with you this morning. The first was July 2nd, 1981. Forgive me, I'm feeling myself getting a little verklempt as I'm speaking, because these two stories are very special to me. On July 2nd, 1981, I met this man. Now, I'm sure most of you don't know who this is, so let me tell you a little bit about him. His name is Jaco Pastorius, and in 1976, he exploded onto the scene with his first solo album and literally changed the way everybody perceived the electric bass. He elevated the electric bass to a solo instrument like no one ever had. And I had the great good fortune on July 2nd of 1981 to spend a good chunk of the day with this very talented and amazing man. He came to town. I was living in Montreal as my hometown. He was coming to Montreal for the Jazz Festival that year with a group that he was in, Weather Report. And I phoned the day beforehand, July 1st, I phoned the venue where they were going to be performing, where the band would be performing, and I said, can you please tell me what time the sound check is? Because all musicians have to show up and do a sound check and make sure everything sounds tickety-boo. And the security guard says, well, I don't know that, and even if I did know that, I wouldn't tell you. And I said, okay. And I got off the phone and I thought, I absolutely knew that I was going to meet Jaco, and I thought, no security guy who has power for a day is going to prevent me from having the experience of a lifetime. And so I thought, how can I hedge my bets? Well, the show was I believe it was at 8 o'clock that night. So I went down. I got to the venue at 2 in the afternoon. And sure enough, there was only one person already on scene, and it was Jaco. He was on stage walking around in just a pair of corduroy jean cutoffs. And after a small song and dance about actually getting to speak to him, I went up to him and I said, Jaco, I'm so pleased to meet you. I'm your biggest fan. I've been following you for a couple of years now. And he said, yeah, I get a lot of that. And then I said, I hear that you've just released your second solo album. And he got very excited and he said, yeah, it's out. Come here. And the venue where I was playing was the Expo Theater in Montreal. For those of you who don't know the Expo Theater, basically there's a big door on the side of the stage which leads right onto the stage. And so I just hopped up and started speaking with him, and then he said, come here. And that's where they do various theater shows like a chorus line, whatever. He took me backstage to a room where there was an upright piano in a room where I guess they practiced choreography. And he sat down at the piano and he started playing one of the songs from that solo CD. We started scat singing together. For those of you who don't know what scat singing is, it just means you've heard a lot of jazz singers do it. I guess it's singing without words. And Jaco and I were scat singing together. I could barely breathe. My heart was in my mouth.
And it just got better from there. We spent hours hanging out together, me asking him an endless series of questions. He brought me on stage. He showed me, he played drums. He showed me his basses. He got on keyboards. We sang little bits of his compositions together. We went on his tour bus. We were continuing the conversation. And at one point, he blew my mind. I was 21 years old. He was 29. And I asked him a question, and he said, that's a really good question. You're really making me think. And I thought, oh my God, the best bass player in the world. I'm making the best bass player in the world think. It was just completely mind-boggling, the whole experience. After the tour bus, we went outside. We hung out for a while longer. He told me about the years that he spent playing with Joni Mitchell. Maybe some of you are aware of the records that he did with Joni Mitchell. Anyway, it just went on and on and on. And a friend of mine showed up and we watched the concert together. And I thought, well, maybe lightning will strike twice. And after the concert, I went backstage and I was able to see him again. And at this point, his wife Ingrid was with him. And he turned to his wife Ingrid and he said, man, this cat's been following me around all day. So I had a good laugh about that. Anyway, so many good things happened that afternoon that afterwards, when I was sitting in a cafe with my friend, the friend who had come to the concert with me, I had a headache. There was just so much for me to process. And a few months later, Jacko was on the front cover of a jazz magazine called Downbeat. And most of what he had shared with me on that day in July was in the article. And I just thought, wow, it actually happened. I didn't dream all this. Fantastic day. Completely changed my perception of what it is to be famous. Just an incredible gift to meet someone at the age of 21. Just be transformed by the experience. Anyway, I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. And finally, final thing I want to say about him right now is I got his email address. I got his physical address, and I sent him a couple of messages with a self-addressed stamped envelope, and he sent me back some replies, and they're prized possessions of mine, which I still have. So that's the first story, meeting Jacko on July 2nd of 1981. The second was February 22nd, 2020, when I met this incredible person, Kim, the love of my life. So here's the backstory. I was performing that night at a Ladner Fisherman's Hall, which is in Ladner. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of, just a nondescript kind of hall. Think of like a Legion Hall, just a long rectangular building where a lot of parties, gatherings have happened. And I was asked to perform there with Holly, who was doing the music for you last week here. Holly and her partner, Kevin. And Holly said, it'll be a fun performance. We've played there a few times. Can't offer you much money, but it'll be fun. And her partner, Kevin, said, and there should be some eligible women there. Now, this made me laugh because when I thought performance at the Ladner Fisherman's Hall, I thought, gee, all of the women there are going to be close to 100 years old, and I wonder if any of them will have a full set of teeth. Horrible, I know, but I just thought, I couldn't really get a handle on what kind of an event this was going to be. Was it going to be a dance? Were we going to be playing for them as they listened to us, as they had dinner? I didn't really know. So with all these questions, I go to the performance space, and I'm setting up the equipment, and Kim walks by. And my heart recognized her immediately. I knew that she was someone that I had to get to know. And many people say to me, you're a musician. You must meet people left, right, and center. Well, no, actually, I don't. I'm not the kind of person who goes up to people after I come off stage and play the musician card. Hey, couldn't help but notice you from the stage. It's just not my style. So what I remember is, all of the negative self-talk that can come into my head. Oh, she's probably with someone else or whatever. It was like going over to a radio and turning it off. All of the negative self-talk just got turned off. I knew that I had to go and introduce myself and meet her. So I did. And at one point I told her I had a couple of CDs of my own songs, and I gave her my website and my email address and my phone number. And at the end of the night, I said, I've really enjoyed meeting you. I'd love to get to know you more. She said, I promise I'll call you after a week, which I found out later she never does. She never says that to anybody. And sure true to her word, she did call me after a week. Long story short, we went out on a date. We went and had some tea and had a nice walk. And then a week later, COVID hit. And we were blessed with the opportunity to get to know each other very deeply. And so that's exactly what we did. We explored our connection very deeply over the next couple of months. And so 6 weeks after we officially began, as I said, my heart knew. And so 6 weeks after we began on May 1st, I proposed to Kim. I got down on one knee and I said, I've never been happier in my whole life. I'd like to spend the rest of my life with you. Would you like to do that? And she said, absolutely, in a heartbeat. So we were engaged. I moved in early June. We've been living together ever since. And what else did I want to tell you about that? Yes. So the plan, of course, was to get married last summer, and COVID has changed the plans of many of us. And we thought, okay, we'll postpone it till next summer. And Kim is very much into pagan rituals, and we thought, okay, we'll get married under a full moon in the summer of 2021. And I thought, well, let's do something special every full moon until then. So every full moon we would do something. We would go walk under the moonlight, or we'd do some simple rituals. And on the full moon in November, we had already had our wedding rings made. And I said, why don't we put our wedding rings on and let's just go walk in the moonlight. And as she said, let's infuse the rings with some moonlight. And I took a picture of that. Here's the picture. And I said to Kim, it feels so good to have these rings on. I don't want to take mine off. Let's get legally married, and then we can have a public declaration of our commitment to each other next summer. So we got legally married on winter solstice, and we will have a public declaration, God willing, on summer solstice. Hopefully COVID will be history by then. So 2 very important days in my life, July 2nd, 1981, February 22nd, 2020. So you may ask yourself, why on earth is he telling us these stories, and what does it have to do with his definition of faith? Well, I had complete trust, complete knowing in both of those moments. I knew that I was going to meet Jacko, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I knew that Kim was somebody that I had to get to know. And then shortly thereafter, I knew that she was the love of my life. And I started thinking about this. Oh, sorry. There's one more slide. There's one more slide that I wanted to show you, and that is we got a lovely affirmation from a friend of Kim's about our relationship. We had a tarot reading with this woman whose name is Lava about 2 weeks before I proposed to Kim. And basically what Lava said in the tarot reading was, whoops, what did I do with that card? Oh, there it is. I put it in the wrong order. I just picked a tarot card with a beautiful image of the two of us. She said, wow, I just keep getting the same message over and over again. You guys are being told by my spirit guides to relax and enjoy. This is the relationship you've been waiting for. So, okay, just wanted to make sure that I shared that piece of information with you. Complete knowing. Complete knowing. They were answered prayers. Both of those moments were answered prayers. So I started thinking about prayer and the unity principles, and thinking about affirmative prayer. And I did some listening and some looking. I watched Reverend Pat's talk on last week, and I watched Eric's talk on January 10th. And some ideas from the two of them jumped out at me. And then there was a third person whose ideas on prayer jumped out at me too. So that's what I'd like to share with you now. So, okay. Sorry. I've got so many things open. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say about this. Is I just knew that I was meant to meet this guy. And second, meeting Kim was an answer to a prayer. This is a shot that I took on the Camino. The Cruz de Ferro is where you leave a stone behind with something that you want to get rid of. something you want to release. What I chose to release on that day was all limiting thoughts, all thoughts of lack. And I firmly believe that my prayer was answered with Kim walking into my life. In other ways too, but certainly that was a major manifestation of that. So here we are. Let's take a look at what some of what I consider teachers, and there are teachers all around us. Teacher Pat Ball on January 17th. This is what jumped out at me from her talk about faith and about prayer. The acronym for faith, that faith is feeling and acting as if the thing has already happened. And this quote, I'm paraphrasing Pat, but I trust that I have the gist of it. Without prayer, our lives can slowly unravel. Prayer is like the hem of Jesus' garment. It roots us in truth and anchors us in the power of spirit. So let's remember to stop, drop, and pray. I like that very much. On January 10th, Eric Hellman finished his talk with this beautiful, beautiful prayer, which actually inspired me to write a chant, which I will finish my talk with. Gentle prayer to your, he said larger, I would say higher self. I want this. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust. I have faith that you do. Whoever you are, whatever you are. Tell me. Guide me. Lead me. Teach me. Help me to surrender to my highest, greatest good. Take a breath, breathe it out, and trust that something will come. And lastly, some words from Reverend Dan Holloway. Dan Holloway is a minister that I met years ago. He just retired from Unity of Vero Beach in Florida. And he is now basically a spiritual mentor and coach. And I recently became aware of a series of videos that he put on his website. If you want to, his website is there, reverenddan.org. You'll find the website, the videos, I should say. The program is called Awaken. There are 11 videos, all about 10 minutes each. And this quote is from the video, Praying the Perfect Prayer. Emotion activates prayer energy. Feeling that a prayer is not only achievable, but can actually be answered to our greatest expectation is an expression of faith. The scripture says, believe we have already received what we are asking for, and it will be ours. The only limitation is in our ability to believe fully. I wonder, though, if Jesus didn't also add this or something even better at the end of his prayers. So often we receive answered prayer in ways that surpass our small thinking. Answers that, in time, we see were even greater than what we hoped for or expected. I have found that the emotional state that we are praying from is much more important than what we are praying for. And this second quote, realize that you are always praying. When you combine thoughts with feelings, you are emitting an energy which will draw to itself like energy. So, pray from a place of positive expectation and keep your eyes, ears, mind, and heart open. So when I came across those quotes, those talks from Pat and from Eric and from Dan, I thought, that's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me with Jocko. That's exactly what happened to me with Kim. I did have a positive expectation, and I lived that prayer I lived those two prayers because we are always praying. So now that we know that, we are always praying, we are always putting out an energy, what if we were to be conscious about that? What if we were to really focus our energy on whatever it is that we want to call into our experience, knowing in complete trust that we can have it? or something even better. That's what I want to leave you with today. So, to review, the definition of faith: complete trust or confidence in someone or something. That's why just to say a little bit about the songs that I sang before the service actually started at 11. Faith in God, giving up that doubt, having the faith of God, the faith of God, having the faith of God, I think is another way of saying the same thing, having complete trust or confidence. And the second chant, the second piece of music, the chant, I trust myself to the water. I found a great quote from Alan Watts about faith, where he compared faith to trusting and floating in the water. So I love that image. When we completely trust, when we completely let go, we can just float and know that we are supported in our highest and greatest good. So, I shared some personal experiences of mine. When have you experienced that level of complete trust or confidence? I'm sure that you have a couple in your life. So think about those. Think about those, ponder, and see if it resonates with you, this idea that it turns out that you were actively praying for something. Maybe you weren't conscious of it, but you were holding a positive expectation, and that expectation drew that experience into your life. So as I said, now that we know we have this power we can call on, what do we consciously want to call into our experience? And third, as I said, the most powerful tool that we have to experience that level of faith is prayer. So to combine things from Eric and from Pat and from Dan, let us anchor ourselves in the power of spirit. Stop, drop, and pray from a place of positive expectation, from a place of complete trust and confidence, and keep our eyes, ears, mind, and heart open. I hope that you're willing to do that. And I hope that you will sing this chant that I wrote. As I said, it was inspired by Eric's talk. I call it a gentle prayer, and I do give Eric credit for the lyrics, because all the words that I wrote here are all completely from that wonderful prayer that Eric finished his talk with. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good. Breathing in, breathing out. I trust that an answer will come. So I'll sing this a few times, and then we'll have some complete silence. And then I'll come back and I'll sing it a few more times. Oh, sorry, forgot to do something small but important here. There we go.
Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good. Breathing in, breathing out. I trust that answer will come. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me, help me surrender to my greatest good. Breathing in, breathing out, I trust that an answer will come. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me, help me surrender to my greatest good. So if you haven't already, I invite you to close your eyes. Just go within. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And another one, in and out. And another one, in and out. And as you keep breathing in and out slowly, I invite you to feel your feet underneath you, resting comfortably on the floor, connecting you to Mother Earth through the building that you're in. And with every deep breath in and out, I also want you to feel your heart connection to everyone in this community. You are all one. We are all one. In this community, in White Rock, in the greater Vancouver area, in this province, in this country, in this world. And as you continue to slowly breathe in and out, I invite you to ponder today's message about the power of prayer, affirmative prayer, the power of faith, complete knowing, trusting that you can have your heart's desire, that or something even better, aligned with your highest and greatest good. So let's just sit with that for a few minutes.
Let's sing again. And Angelica, if you'd be kind enough to put the slide up again with the words for the last chant, that would be great.
Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good. Breathing out, I trust that an answer will come. Help me, please. I don't know what to do, but I trust that you do. Guide me. Help me surrender to my greatest good.
Thank you. Thank you from the bottoms of our heart, Nathen, for your message of wisdom and encouragement, and for your heartfelt songs sung with elegance and grace. You're a blessing to all of us.